Is it even on the right channel? I hope it is. Yes, it is. Mic check 1 2. Mic check 1 2. Okay, it works. Good. Okay. So now I can just repost it. So, apologies for being a little late. Had a bit of outside interference. Okay. Alright. A little bit late this time, but we're there. We made it. Despite everything. Hello everyone, if you're just joining in. Welcome to ASRC. This is the championship of this is the tier 1 championship. And we are currently around 20 out of 23. So 4 races remain. And tonight, biggest surprise thus far, well, it is that Q's is not present tonight. If he were to race and get a good result, he could have clinched the Tier 1 Drivers' Championship. But he is staying out for Waysack to take his place, and I think that is the only person, unless I'm mistaken, I think it is the only person to be reserved. If I'm taking a look really quickly, I think it is. So yeah, Waysack is the only reserve tonight. He will reserve for Q's tonight. Apart from that, it's a full grid. 20 drivers, everyone on board for the United States Grand Prix, as it looks like a clear day. Apologies, I missed the entirety of qualifying. I had to eat, or else I wouldn't have any energy. I kind of need energy to do this, so I will go with the grid pretty soon. But if I'm not mistaken, I think Panju is on pole. Panju, who races also in CRL. Not CRL, sorry. He races for the League via League and was the highest placed in ASRC's team during the League via League, which is hosted by CRL during Fridays at 3:30 EST or 8:30 UK. It is automatically hosted on my channel during Fridays. So if you don't have the link to the other channel, just go on ASRC and you'll find it right away. That's Fridays at 3:30 EST. A League via League. The next race will be in the Netherlands. 4 drivers. There's gonna be, so it's 5 leagues, 4 drivers representing each, and that's what I'm talking about. Panju, who just got pole, he was the highest placed of Team ASRC. I think he finished in P4, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Panju in P4. We had Brewdog in P7, Sen in P13, and Q's one always in the Tier 2 driver in P12. So next race will be in the Netherlands. But tonight, it's around 20 out of 23. 4 races remain. 4 Mondays and 4 Wednesdays, because of Tier 2 remain before the end of the season, which will end tonight in USA, and next week in Mexico, and 2 weeks in Brazil, and the final week in Abu Dhabi. And after that, Season 3 will be concluded. So we're coming to a close this season, which has been quite a ride. It's very, very good to see an entire grid. Full grid, all the drivers. Clear day. And now we're going to get to some racing pretty soon. At the Circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas. Round 20 out of 23. Who is going to come out on top tonight? The last race's winner, it was Q's in Japan. But Q's is not racing tonight, so last winner was Orange Juice, who stands in P2. And ASRC Leclerc in Portugal, and it was Q's again. Orange Juice and Jacob, Belgium. So last race winners pretty much staying the same. Now a lot of points, maybe not the Constructors Championship or the Drivers Championship for Q's tonight in being in that couldn't be claimed. It was supposed to be claimed, but it is not. But tonight, a lot of Grand Constructors points can and will be done and given after this race. So if the recent moves in standings with Red Bull moving, staying in P5, moving up since the beginning of the season. We have AlphaTauri finally overtaken Haas. So expecting a good result from Wi-Fi and Senna. If AlphaTauri wants to keep that lead, if Haas wants to regain, they need a good performance from Curtis and Skiller. Skiller, who only has 1 point on the year. He's been there to almost every race, but hasn't shown up with the results. For Alpine, it's a chance to get back to Mercedes. Jacob and Crazy Mike, who said they were very good at USA. Well, hopefully for them, they get a pretty good race tonight. I think Jacob, if I'm not mistaken, is starting last. Probably got disqualified or DNF'd early in the qualifying session. And Mercedes will be relying on Emod and Waysack as reserve. Red Bull with Orange Juice and Magic Rags. Colt and Paju, the duo for McLaren. ASRC Leclerc and Wildman for Alfa Romeo. LC Blixer, Nico Maz for Ferrari. Williams will go with Mindless and FBR Nut. And Aston Martin, FBR Brewdog, and Iceman Casper. That is the lineup 30 seconds away from lights out. Well, formation lap technically. As we'll do a quick rundown of the grid. So, clock is now at 0. Every driver's on the grid. And in a second, we will be shortly booted back to the starting grid for the formation lap. At least we're supposed to. Yes, we will. Okay, good at least. The formation lap. Yes, I am a spectator. That is why I'm here. Telemetry enabled. Position change. Actually, let's go for the tires. So, the grid rundown. So in P1, Panju getting his first pole in a while, actually. I think his last pole was back in Austria. It was the last time it was on pole. He didn't finish that race, actually. Did not get in the points. Last race finished P7. He's looking to get one of his best results this season. Orange Juice in P2, still fighting for that championship. He's going to be desperate to get that P1 or at least a victory tonight. Points are needed for him if he still wants a chance for the championship. He is the only driver still in contention behind Q's. Waysack in P3, replacing said Q's. He's going to be starting on the soft compound. Mindless in P4 after 2 races, which have been, actually 3 races, which have been not the best for him. He's starting in P4, he's on the soft compound. LC Blixer returning after missing, wait, no, sorry, was he? Oh, wait, no, I'm looking at the wrong Ferrari. After missing Japan, he returns. He was P6 in Singapore. Now he's P5, and starting on the softs, FBR Brewdog, starting P6, still looking to get another victory. Last time he got that victory, it was in Austria. P1 had a couple of struggles, P2 in Singapore, but a lot of finishes outside of the top 10, looking for more. Nico Maz, currently P7 on the soft compound. Has DNF'd a lot of races. He needs points for Ferrari. Ferrari needs something from him, and he's pretty close to his teammates, so that's at least a bonus for him. ASRC Leclerc, the driver that came in late this season, at least doing wonders for Alfa Romeo. Looking to get back on the top step of the podium. Hasn't been there since Portugal. Iceman Casper, starting in the top 10 for the first time in a while. Hasn't gotten points since he headed out of... Well, actually, he's got 2 points with... hasn't gotten points since the Netherlands. Looking for more. Colts in P10. Skiller P11. Crazy Mike in P12. Emod in P13. Wildman P14. Senna P15. Wi-Fi P16. FBR Nut P17. AF Curtis in P18. Magic Crags 19th. And Jacob in 20th. So it's soft, medium, and hard. Every tire is on the track. Senna, the only driver on the hards. So let me go to position change. As it's 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. And here we go. So who's going to get the better start out of this? Oh, I need the scoreboard back. I think Ponjo and Orgers are going to be wheel to wheel heading into the first corner. Oh, it looks very tight. Who's going to come out in front after the first corner? It looks like Ponjo has got the best of it. No, actually, it looks like it's staying close between OJ and Ponjo. Is OJ now going into the S's? He's in front. Couple of drivers moving up and down. Wi-Fi gained 5. Nico Maz lost 5. Orange Juice takes the lead. Ponjo's right behind him, though. As we go down the grid, Elsie Blixer got up. Miles got down. Iceman Casper with a tremendous start. Both Aston Martins next to each other. And Leclerc and Brewdog pretty close to each other. Leclerc now splitting the two Aston Martins as he's wheel to wheel with Brewdog. That battle's going to go for a while as Brewdog takes ahead, and I think Crazy Mike's going to get right ahead of Colts. Into the corner he is. No, he is not staying ahead, so Crazy Mike still ahead of Colts. Wi-Fi with a tremendous start already, almost in the points. Orange Juice, Miles, and Blixer now going after each other. Blixer into the back of Miles. As we have a yellow flag in sector 2 and 3, that looks to be a Williams. I think it's FBR Nut that might have spun. And Skiller retires from the session. So already one gone. And that didn't take long, and I think Colts got involved in that collision too. That's a virtual safety car. And already a Haas out of the race. So yeah, I think Colts got involved in that collision, which now leads to the virtual safety car. And we already have a driver out, and it's the Haas of Skiller, who continues to struggle. It's his second straight race, finishing, well, not finishing, P20. Last on the grid, and after all of this, it's Orange Juice that's in front in the Red Bull. Couple of yellow flags, and we should get a green flag pretty soon. Unless it's glitched from the game. As it's a green flag, virtual safety car is over. So luckily, no safety car required. But there is another yellow flag, and I think that's just FBR Nut struggling up there. As Casper and Brewdog really close to each other. Elsie Blixer's gone. What happened? Elsie Blixer's out. I have no idea where he went, but he probably was also involved in that collision. But Elsie Blixer, also for Ferrari, he's out. So his return after Singapore, well, it didn't last long. It's already gone. He is out of the USA Grand Prix. So already 2 DNFs with 2 laps in. And it's Orange Juice up in front. And DRS is activated now. I think Colt is having issues with his internet connection. There's Magic Crags and Senna look to be going at it. More down the field, Magic Crags might have the upper hand, or maybe Colt will have a chance to go at Senna. I think Senna's going to stay ahead on those hards. It's a pretty big gamble, but if he can keep on it, it's going to pay off. Brewdog and Casper staying close to each other. That is very good for the Aston Martin teammates. They haven't gotten some good results in a while. They're looking for another one. As now DRS is activated, and Ponju is going to be the first to benefit of it. And so is Waysack. But I think he's going to be too far unless he has just enough. And here we come into the corner. And Ponju did not have enough. Casper now keeps Leclerc behind. FB or Brewdog doing an amazing job keeping up with his teammate. Or I should say Casper doing a phenomenal job keeping up with his teammate. So Wildman and Nico Mas pretty close to each other. Taking that battle, Wildman has the advantage. As the tight corners of USA are pretty tough to navigate, as Waysack now, fastest lap of the race. DRS activated for Ponju. Will he have enough heading into the slope that is the first corner? I don't think he will so far. So Ponju still behind Orange Juice. That hasn't changed. My list in P4 hasn't changed. Brewdog P1. So now, have a look at the tires. The Aston Martin's doing a terrific job so far, holding up P5 and P6. Just keeping Leclerc at bay, but Leclerc might go for a move as Casper goes wide a little bit. Might have been a little struggle on his part. As we head to the back of the grid, to the front of the grid actually. And Ponju has another chance, so does Waysack. And is he going to have enough to go for it? He might do actually. Orange Juice weaves a little bit. Ponju doesn't go for it thus far. But now Leclerc, he's gone past Casper. And will he get past Brewdog? Just not yet. As he's still very close to Casper. So a lot of close quarters racing here happening everywhere in the field. Casper's still on Leclerc and he's not giving up. Leclerc, who's on the medium, so he's going to be most likely going to be pitting much later. And everyone here in the top 8. Very, very close quarters. As Ponju gets another shot at DRS. But does he have enough? Yellow flag in Sector 3. That looks to be a McLaren. It's a McLaren in the wall, and that's Colts. One McLaren's fighting for the win. The other one is struggling. Colts in the wall, but doesn't seem like he's gotten any damage out of it. As ASRC Leclerc just got past both of the Aston Martins, and now he's running into P5. Mr. Wildman, that's the first penalty of the session. So right now the top 3 not letting go of each other, and now the penalties starting to rack in. Lap 5 out of 28. It's Orange Juice in the lead. Ponju right behind him with DRS, and so does Waysack. It's a little DRS train. It might not be enough, as now Casper will have DRS. Or Brewdog actually won't have DRS. Leclerc is already pulling a gap on Brewdog. So Brewdog goes wide, might have overshot that turn. But it's the two teammates, the two Aston Martins. And now, right behind him is the Alpha Tauri of Wi-Fi. As he also goes wide. So a lot of oversteering into this race. As we head back to the front. As we see Orange Juice weaving just a little bit. Doesn't want to give an edge to Ponju. Banjo stays on him, but Brewdog heads into the pits already. I don't know if it was due to a contact or if it's just an early pit stop or a strategy that they're going with. I wonder if I have to learn what they're doing exactly. The pit stops might be starting as there's a yellow flag. Someone's gone off. I don't know who went off, but someone got into a little bit of trouble heading into the first corner and into the S's. And so Wayside getting very, very close to Panju. And with DRS now, Orange Juice still ahead. Panju will not try a move just yet. Wi-Fi now will have DRS, and so does Crazy Mike. Lots of weaving. They're almost going to be 3 wide. Look at that battle. They're all close. And after all of that, it looks like Crazy Mike's got the upper hand, or maybe it's Wi-Fi actually. And now Nico Maz joins the battle. And amidst all of this huge battle between P6 and P10. And it's Wi-Fi that comes out on top. But this battle is far from over. I think even Jacob's going to join in pretty soon. So this is a battle to check out. As now, other DRS zone, Wi-Fi, no DRS. He's weaving a little bit. Crazy Mike trying to get anything. Now Casper also has DRS. Wi-Fi weaving left and right. Does Crazy Mike go for a move? He does not just yet. Casper, no, he does not go for a move either. So still stays the same, but now Jacob's part of the party. And I think Magic Rags and Wildman might join him pretty soon. So the battle for P6 right now is the biggest battle of the race that we're having so far, and it's such a close pack. And without a DRS restart, and not DRS, without a safety car to restart or nothing, that is a very close battle. And Emot actually might go for a move on Nico Maz right before the DRS zone. Does he have enough? I think they're gonna stay wheel to wheel. But Emot takes the lead of Nico Maz, gets into P9. And now Crazy Mike might try a move. He will. Around the outside he goes near Wi-Fi. That's a pretty close battle. Emot and Casper fighting for it. I think Emot might have gone wide. He's lost a couple of positions, but I think Crazy Mike got the best of it. And now he's up ahead, but I think Leclerc has had some issues. So I will make a pause on this battle, or we'll wait for something to happen pretty soon. So I will pause this bit. Apologies on that. Try and keep it in the background. Real apologies. I want to get all of my drivers on the track. That's what matters most to me. ASRC Leclerc. Right, I'm back. So after all of this, yellow flag in Sector 3. It looks to be an AlphaTauri. And so with the battle now, a couple of pit stops being made. So now Crazy Mike's in P4, ASRC Leclerc. Well, he's going slow a little bit because it's his AI, and that creates a little bit of a mess in the middle of the track as he's losing some places, gets into contact. And look at how close everyone is. And so ASRC Leclerc should be on top of his car, not in just a moment. Should be pretty soon as Senna retires. And now I think ASRC Leclerc is back in his car. And that battle is absolutely tremendous as now Jacob gets a head, locks up a little. Or was it Wi-Fi? I think Wi-Fi locked up a little there. And look at that. Incredible battle. So right now, Alpine P4 and P5. Couple of pit stops being made. Yellow flag in Sector 3. Doesn't look like anything happened thus yet. Now, who heads into the pits and who doesn't? Wi-Fi and Casper and Nico Maz should head into the pits. It's a yellow flag. That's a white car. It looks to be a Haas. Maybe Curtis spun. And the battle continues. And it's very much up for grabs as the former teammates Wildman and Casper going at it. Wildman goes around the outside. That's a very close battle, but I think Wildman's got the most of it, and he does for now. Heading into the S's. Magic Drags in P8, Ponju in P9. He just pitted recently, so he's up into that battle too. ASRC Leclerc. Well, he got booted by his Xbox, but he's right back. He's still in P10. Brewdog, who pitted early, into P11. Not part of that battle. Wildman looks like he's gotten the best out of that battle with Casper. Jacob, Crazy Mike, Wildman. That's 4, 5, and 6. Now Ponju will be looking for a move as Casper now losing the DRS strength. And it's going to be Magic Rags yellow flag in Sector 2. I think that's Nico Maz. And now Casper and Rags going at it. Rags gets by. Ponju gets by. And Ponju might actually go for another one. He gets 2 overtakes in a single straight. And in the DRS straight goes from 9th to 7th. And now he's on the tail of Mr. Wildman. Still a yellow flag in Sector 2. Nico Maz, who looks to have spun. And so now the soft compound going for pit stops. Ponju on those fresh mediums. Waysack, Mindless, and Orange Juice have yet to pit. And Orange Juice slowly starting to get away. Let me just do that. Thank you very much. And Ponju will have DRS. And Casper and Leclerc. So Casper heads into the pits. Now Wildman weaves a little bit. Ponju looking for every inch of slipstream he can get. He's going to go around the inside. And that's going to be pretty much an easy overtake for him. Younger tires and much more speed. Ponju now up into P6. But Mr. Wildman still on his tail. That battle is not done just yet. Or is it? Ponju's got the fresher tires. Now Ponju has his sights on Jacob. As Leclerc gets by Rags right before the DRS zone. Lap 10 out of 28. 18 laps to go here in Coda. As Wildman will have DRS, but he might not have enough. So will Rags. Rags and Leclerc. There's a lot of weaving happening tonight. No one wants to give an inch. And Magic Rags, he does not go for it just yet. As Casper ahead, he is ahead of Curtis. A couple of battles happening, and Wildman is getting closer to Ponju. But is he close enough? Now, Jacob is going to be pretty close to his teammate. As now, the top 2, Waysack and Orange Juice into the pits. Mindless stays out. So Crazy Mike also stays out. So the Alpines now will gain 1 and 2 on those old mediums. And Ponju will make the most out of it. That's going to be fastest lap of the race. And he might get ahead of Orange Juice. So the undercut by Orange Juice does not work. So Ponju is up ahead. And Orange Juice now gets in the pack right behind Wildman. So I think that was an undercut attempt from the top 2. It doesn't seem like it worked as much as they expected. Now, Ponju slowly getting away from the DRS of Mr. Wildman. Now sets his sights on Jacob. But if everything goes to plan, Ponju should get P1 after pit stops. I think Emod made a pretty early pit stop on those hards, so he might be trying to get those all the way till the end. I think Waysack and Orange Juice are going to go for a battle. Actually, they will. Waysack and Orange Juice, and Waysack looks to be ahead. He goes around the inside, doesn't leave a chance for Orange Juice. Cuts around the inside, and that does it for Waysack. He's ahead of Orange Juice, but the battle's not done yet. I thought it was, but it isn't. Orange Juice and Waysack going up ahead. And I think now Waysack's starting to get a little comfortable now. He's ahead by a little bit more of a margin. But Mindless on those 11 laps old softs. He is yet to pit, but someone spun. It's Nico Maz. He's spinning after the S's on his new softs, which are going to be hot now. But now Waysak's real close to Wildman. And Orange Juice now just joined that battle. ASRC Leclerc now going on Wi-Fi. And he is going to get ahead. Jacob ahead of his teammate now. As ASRC Leclerc gets ahead of Wi-Fi. Nice little overtake. And now the battle for P5. Mr. Wildman trying to hold back the two leaders. Well, the two guys that were leading. Waysack and Orange Juice. Panju now within a second of Crazy Mike, so he will have DRS. Or he won't actually, probably next lap, but he is getting within a second. So now Waysack gets by Wildman. Now does Orange Juice get by? Yes, he does. So on both sides, Wildman gets overtaken. Orange Juice, will he go for another move? I think not. Actually, he does. Gets a little hit on Waysack, or maybe it was a little bit further than I thought. Alright, the camera angle that doesn't do any justice. But it's Waysack and Orange Juice in front of Wildman. Wildman was yet to pit. Waysack, ooh, spins a little bit out of that corner. And Orange Juice is going to say thank you very much. That place is mine. And he's up into P5, overtakes. As he overtakes Waysack. And now, Mindless in the pits. And Panju closing in on Crazy Mike. Now Orange Juice and Waysack. Waysack, will he try a move? He will not just yet. So right now Panju needs to make it. The P1 with the two drivers, the two Alpines who have yet to pit, Crazy Mike and Jacob. They're going to be pretty tough to overtake. They're really good defenders. Fastest lap right now belongs to ASRC Leclerc. He's currently standing in P9. So 3 DNFs. A virtual safety car, no safety cars just yet, tapping on wood. And now with DRS incoming, and there's going to be a little bit of a tactical movement done by the Alpines here. I wonder what's going to happen. So if Crazy Mike having DRS, a little bit of weaving from the Alpines, and now Waysack, will he have enough to try a move? Actually, Crazy Mike gets ahead of his teammate. And Waysack and Orange Juice close to each other, but Orange Juice still in front. And Panju, he's very close to those Alpines. Now 50% of the race will be done as soon as all drivers cross for lap 14 out of 28. And with DRS now, Panju and Jacob both have DRS. So there's going to be another switch by Alpine. Or is Panju going to go for a move? He will not just yet. No move made thus far. As Brewdog heads into the pits, Wi-Fi nets himself a penalty. And right now, it's looking full Alpine in 1 and 2. But they have yet to head into the pits. Speaking of pitting, Curtis and Brewdog into the pits. So we have reached the halfway point of this race. And Panju now getting closer to Jacob, but Jacob will have DRS, and so does Orange Juice and a Waysack. So the top 3 now, well, the first top 3, right back to the pack. And after that, it does look like Panju will stay behind Jacob. And it stays the same as it is for the standings right now. But the battle for P1 is pretty close. With Waysack closing in that battle, Mindless pretty close to Wildman. Wildman who still needs to pit. Hasn't pitted just yet. So do Jacob and Crazy Mike. They have yet to pit. Maybe they're getting those mediums all the way till the end. Or maybe not all the way till the end. They can't do that. And still not pitting. Jacob and Crazy Mike have yet to pit. So they're doing work on those mediums to keep them alive. I don't know what's the percentage on their tires that they have. Or they're doing a tremendous job at holding Orange Juice, Waysack, and Panju back. It's Mindless and Wildman still going after each other. So it'd be Jacob and Crazy Mike gambling on a safety car. Or something that could happen. But everyone's closing in quicker and quicker. And now Panju, he looks to have a lot more room towards Jacob. Oh, he's looking for it. But still nothing. As Mindless finally gets by the Alfa Romeo of Wildman. And he's up into P6. So Wildman yet to pit, still in P7. Pretty good race by him so far. So what about the Alpines? Will they go for a pit stop? Or if, well, they have to. The question is when. It is definitely not now. But Panju is still close to Jacob. And let's see what happens now. I don't think he has enough, sadly. I think Jacob and Crazy Mike are just holding on to P1 and 2. And they're not letting go. A tremendous job by the Alpines keeping 1 and 2. But they haven't pitted yet. So it is looking great right now. But how great is it going to look when they're going to have to pit? They are starting to pull in a little gap. If I take a look at the leaders, if they were to pit right now, they'd be P9. Or around P9. Are the only 2 drivers that have yet to make a pit stop tonight. Oh, now Panju with DRS, Orange Juice with DRS, Waysack DRS, and still nothing. Jacob and Crazy Mike still holding on 1 and 2. Orange Juice getting closer to Panju now. So the Alpines, probably not even wanting to, they're actually helping Orange Juice and Waysack catch up to Panju. And they're still not pitting. This is incredible. What a display of racecraft from the Alpines. And now Jacob gets ahead of Crazy Mike. And another switcheroni from the Alpines. This is amazing. What a racecraft we're having right now. As Panju can't get ahead of Crazy Mike, Orange Juice can't get ahead of Panju, Waysack can't get ahead of Orange Juice. They're just stuck there. And Alpine has total control. And with DRS once again, Panju and Orange Juice and Waysack. The DRS train all aboard. And still, the Alpines are ahead. They are not letting go a single inch. But Orange Juice, I think, no, wait, that's Panju finally went for a move. And he's up ahead of Crazy Mike. He's finally made a move. And now, oh, Panju and Orange Juice make contact. As now the grid becomes closer and closer. And now Crazy Mike's all the way back down to 4th. Orange Juice tried to move there, almost lost it, almost made Panju lose it. But he stays ahead now. It still stays the same now, but Panju has free air in front of Jacob with DRS. Can Panju regain the lead or gain the first time? For the first time tonight, the lead. Not yet. As Waysack now, the only one of those 3 that hasn't made it past one of the Alpines. He's looking forward. He has much, much younger tires, maybe even in the S's. Oh, he's looking for it. Oh, he's almost wheel to wheel. But no, he's not going to make the move just yet. Penalties being given out left and right. Ponju and Jacob very close. Orange Juice also part of the mix. And now, Ponju another chance. And I think this time he'll have enough. Or will he? I think he will have more than enough. Jacob weaving left and right. And Ponju on the corner around the outside. And Jacob with a defense around the inside. But Ponju is ahead. Finally grabs the lead from the Alpines. And now Orange Juice goes for a move around the inside. And that's going to be wheel to wheel with Jacob. And I don't think that battle's done just yet. Or is it? It is. Orange Juice ahead of Jacob. Does not need DRS. And now Wasak still stuck behind one of the Alpines as finally Jacob heads into the pits. And now he's got Crazy Mike to fight. But right now Orange Juice has DRS on Ponju. I think Ponju's still very much ahead as Wasak gets ahead of Crazy Mike. And the Alpines causing havoc. And now Miles joins the battle. And I think Leclerc is not too far from it. So this race is far from given. As there's a yellow flag in Sector 2 right at the corner. Right before the DRS zone, Nico Mazza spun. He's most likely going to be the first driver to get overtaken. Or lapped, that's what I meant to say. As Wasak out of the DRS range. Crazy Mike's in the DRS range on Wasak. Orange Juice has DRS on Ponju. And he's coming close. Ponju weaves a little bit. He's going to defend the inside. And he does the right move. Ponju still ahead. Mindless ahead of Crazy Mike. And now Leclerc is part of that battle on those new softs. So Crazy Mike will be pitting pretty soon for new softs. As Orange Juice and Ponju right now fighting for 1 and 2. And Leclerc actually might go for a move pretty early on Crazy Mike. Or he might just wait a little. And be a better chance as Crazy Mike heads into the pits. And now it's 4 drivers up for grabs for the lead here. As now Orange Juice tries to move. Ponju, what a defense. Grabs the inside and stays ahead. 9 laps to go here in America. And the battle for P1 is between 5 drivers. As a yellow flag in Sector 2, I think that's Nico Maz once again spinning. I think he's just going to get out of the way so he doesn't get lapped. Or at least he doesn't get in the way of being lapped. As Orange Juice again with DRS. Wayside also DRS. Everyone's got DRS except Ponju. Orange Juice tries a move. He's going to go around the outside. Ponju protects the inside. Wheel to wheel. Between the McLaren and the Red Bull. Oh, they don't want to give an inch to each other. As Orange Juice pushes Ponju a little bit wide. And that's going to cause... Oh, there's a spin. No, there's a little bit of contact. And that's going to give Orange Juice a little bit of an edge. Ponju saved that, surprisingly. But that caused Waysek to drop back. And now Leclerc is back in P3. And Miles also had to move out of the way to not get caught into that crosshair. But I think because of that, Leclerc and Waysek head into the pits. And maybe with wing damage, as Waysek gets a penalty for speeding in the pit lane. And there is wing damage, and I think it's the same. No, Leclerc just pitting for new tires. So now Jacob up into P4, and Mindless still part of that battle, but Ponju lost a lot with that almost spin. But he's still within DRS range, and now Waysek Now with 10 seconds of penalty. Ooh. That is not good for him. So now, Ponju and Orange Juice. These are the two that look to be fighting for the race win. Now remember, if Orange Juice were the DNF, Q's will clinch their Tier 1 Drivers' Championship. But... oh, there's another yellow flag. I think that's just Nico getting out of the way. Yeah, it's just Nico getting out of the way. As Ponju still having DRS, but still trailing behind OJ. Ponju having a tremendous race. Haven't seen him race that well in a while. After seeing what he did in the League v League. I'm not too surprised. As Waysack he retires! Oh, he retired in the pits though. So one Mercedes out. The other one's 8th. So Alpine is gonna like that very much. That DNF from Waysack. That is gonna be well received from Alpine. I think every team's gonna appreciate this one. There was a little bit of lag there. I don't know if it was maybe it was me actually. That's a probability. Maybe, honestly, I'm not the only one in this Wi-Fi, and I'm also using my computer for the stream, so there's a possibility of a little bit of lag. Yellow flag in Sector 3. Okay, that's just... is that Nico moving out of the way? No, that's Nico retiring. So Nico Maz goes on the side. He retires from the race. His car already being taken out. But it's looking all Orange Juice for now. But watch out. Because Leclerc has fresh softs. He just set the fastest lap. Wildman's on the softs. Jacob's on pretty newer softs. He has 6 seconds to make on Mindless. So around 8 seconds to make in total. He is not part of the battle right now, but he's a wild card. And could very well steal the spotlight here. As Leclerc gets right in front of his teammate. And he's starting to pull on the gas. Not a lot of laps left. 5 laps remain. And Ponju's still on the hunt for P1 against Orange Juice. Orange Juice, remember, needs this win. Or at least P2. If he wants to stay alive in the Drivers' Championship. With Waysack DNFing and Q's not being there tonight. It's looking pretty good for him. Yellow flag in Sector 2. I think that's FBR Nut that just spun into the gravel. So one Williams doing well, the other one not so. So now, Ponju, 7.5 tenths to make in order to gain back that P1. And he still has DRS. He's doing great. But is it going to be enough as Orange Juice keeps pulling away? Or they're about the same on ERS. But Panju does have a penalty. And with Mindless right behind him, that P2 might get turned into a P3. As FB Arnott retires in the pits. So another DNF, but it's in the pits, so no worries about that. The car's going to retire in the pits. And now with DRS, now Panju's getting close. But is it going to be close enough? No, I say DNF in the pit. He actually did not. Or did he? No, he didn't. Okay. As a yellow flag, another one in Sector 3. That's a car going slow. Let's see if any driver has issues with fuel. Emot actually might not end the race with enough fuel as Wi-Fi retires in the pits. That's why he was going slow, and AlphaTauri losing both of their drivers. But everyone's been retiring in the pits. So Panju getting closer and closer to Orange Juice, but he still has that penalty. That's Crazy Mike and Wildman exchanging blows. And still with DRS. Panju. Oh, he tried to go for it there. He tried to move so much that I started speaking gibberish. Wee-oo, wee-oo. But what a race has been giving out by OJ and Panju. As Iceman Casper heads into the pits, and I think I know why he's doing that. He's going to snatch the fastest lap away. And he's pretty good at that. Panju's still behind OJ. That's what we've been looking at so far. Jacob now making some ground, but is it going to be enough? Leclerc right behind Jacob, also making some ground. As we approach the final few laps, with 3 laps remaining, it looks all OJ. And now with DRS. Giving it everything, but Panju still stays behind. And now Leclerc and Jacob might be going at it pretty soon. As for now, I'll have a look at these two going at it. Possibly fighting for a podium, both on the softs. Leclerc and Jacob. So while this happens, let's have a look at the car I've been looking at all race. The McLaren of Panju. And there's not much time left for him to try a move as Leclerc gets ahead of Jacob. Panju still behind OJ. And there's not much time left. But Mindless is starting to feel the effects of low fuel. So Mindless might lose out on this podium. And so will Emod maybe. But Mindless is low fuel. That might come as a price for him. Because maybe it won't be enough to finish the race. As now, final lap of the race. And it's all up for grabs. With DRS, it's Panju as they cross the line. Final lap of the race here in Coda. It's been non-stop. And now Leclerc and Mindless going at it. Leclerc trying to go for that podium. And Panju desperately trying to go for a move. He's also looking for one. Final lap, people getting their elbows out, people going for moves that they usually never would do. Panju now, he's gonna have DRS and he's pretty close to Orange Juice, a great exit. Leclerc also gonna have DRS, Mindless also gonna have DRS. Jacob also gonna have DRS. And now Leclerc gets ahead of Mindless. Panju, he's ahead of OJ. But he's got a penalty, so that might come into play. As now Leclerc becomes part of that battle. OJ almost has no fuel. He's going for a move. Does not get it. Does he have enough fuel? Everyone's on low fuel. Leclerc and Orange Juice going for it. And Leclerc, he's ahead of OJ. Yellow flag in sector 3. I think that's Mindless going slow. Doesn't have fuel. Jacob keeps him at bay. But he stays ahead. And amidst all of this, it's OJ, Mindless, Jacob, Panju, and Leclerc. But I think I'm going to have a look at that between Mindless and Jacob. And so it's a victory lap for OJ, who stays alive in the battle for the championship. It's 26 points. So it's victory for OJ, and it's driver of the day for Jacob. Wait, no, Panju was on pole, so that's 25 points. I said 26, no, it's 25. So it's victory for OJ, and he still stays alive in the battle for the championship. And now, Q's will need a little bit more in order to clinch that title. As now OJ is now closer in that battle. Ow. That was a really great race. Who got the fastest lap? I think Leclerc kept the fastest lap. Actually, he did. So close quarters tonight. A lot of hard racing on the track. No safety cars whatsoever, only a virtual. It was a pretty great race all around. So, thank you for watching, everyone. And yeah, as the season closes in, the battles are getting closer and closer. People are getting used to who they're battling. It's getting cleaner and cleaner. As the Orange Juice with the victory of the night. Clear United States Grand Prix. And close quarter battles. Gives us a pretty great race here tonight. So the standings will be updated as soon as possible. So, with that, just gonna wait until I get to the lobby. I don't really like this screen. So, with that, this Wednesday at 6:45 Eastern, it is gonna be Tier 2. Tier 2's time to race in CODA. As now, the stakes are higher for the constructors. AlphaTauri is closing in on Haas, and the Grand Constructor has a lot of points to be taken? I'm probably messing up my words, I don't really care. A lot of points up for grabs. And then Friday, it's going to be ASRC versus RRL versus CRL versus IUF1 and IFR. They're all acronyms of leagues. In the league versus league matchup, 4 drivers will represent Team ASRC. We don't know the roster just yet. It will be announced pretty soon. This Friday at Netherlands, and this Wednesday, so this Friday 3:30 EST and 8:30 UK time. And this Wednesday at 6:30 Eastern, it is Tier 2 in CODA, so we will see you there. Both of the races won't be streamed on the channel, but they will be hosted. So we will see you then. Have a good evening, everyone. Thank you for watching, and thank you for watching ASRC Racing.